You gotta keep them separated.
So it is looking very likely that Senator Jeff Sessions from Alabama is going to be the next Attorney General. And that should scare the hell out of everybody. And there's many reasons for that. So the job of the Attorney General, the first thing is he controls three important departments. He controls the FBI, the DEA, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Enforcement. So he oversees all those, and he has control over all of them. Donald Trump is going to have nothing to do with that. In fact, he'll actually have control over the entire Department of Justice. It's going to be all Jeff Sessions. Other things the Attorney General can do is, let's say Donald Trump wants to go drone bomb a certain Muslim country. Congress won't approve it. He could go to Sessions, the Attorney General. If he approves it, then he's allowed to go ahead and do that bombing. So that opens up a lot of scary possibilities, and that brings me to his stances on immigration. He is one of the leaders in anti-immigration reform and the push for anti-immigration reform. And I'm not going to go into this much more here, but if you actually read into it, this guy is not just against illegal immigrants. He just wants fewer immigrants, period. He does not want immigrants coming into the country. So he will do anything to block immigration reform that will help immigrants get their citizenship. He does not want that. But before I go any further past this, let's talk about something that's not as important, but is important, and is something that we could lose some ground on, and that's legalization of marijuana. So here's a clip of him. This is last year. This isn't 10 years ago. This isn't 20, 30 years ago. This is 2015. Watch what his views are on the legalization of marijuana and marijuana in general.
What I want to just say to you and to those who might be listening is it's far more important than just the details of whether federal prosecutors start prosecuting marijuana cases in Colorado. Colorado was one of the leading states that started the movement to suggest that marijuana is not dangerous. And we're going to find it, in my opinion, ripple throughout the entire American citizenry, and we're going to see more marijuana use, and it's not going to be good. We're going to see more other drug use, illegal drug use also, which is damaging. I mean, we need grown-ups in charge in Washington to say marijuana is not the kind of thing that ought to be legalized. It ought not to be minimized, that it's in fact a very real danger. You can see the accidents, traffic deaths related to marijuana jumped 20%. These are the kind of things that we're going to see throughout the country, and you'll see cocaine and heroin increase more than it would have, I think, had we not talked about it.
So this guy is a typical Republican, anti-science. If you do any research on marijuana, any research, you'll see that it actually has quite a few medical benefits and actually helps a lot of people significantly. Some people depend on it. Not only that, no one's ever overdosed on marijuana. When we have tobacco and alcohol legal, which kill thousands and thousands of people every year, this guy is just spouting nonsense. Now, the impact it will have on the marijuana industry right now, that's to be determined. I don't deem it to be positive. I imagine there being more marijuana raids and medical marijuana raids. And that's going to discourage a lot of people from entering the industry and could hurt it quite a bit. So we'll see what happens on that. But there's some other things that are even more red flags about him becoming the Attorney General. So back in the 80s, he was about to become, or trying to become, a federal judge. However, the Senate did not approve him because they deemed he was too racist. This is back in the 80s. They deemed he was too racist. Now, we've made quite a bit of progress since then, and even back then, they thought he was too racist. Now he's just over the top, because his views have not changed. So some of the concerning things he said is, he once, as a U.S. attorney, called a black lawyer boy. Now, some people might say he's just having some fun with him. Maybe acceptable, not if you're an attorney to a lawyer. I don't agree with that. But what he said after is 100% not acceptable, and what scares me and what's the problem. He says, be careful how you talk to white folks. Now that right there, that's white supremacy. That's you saying, I'm superior to you. I'm white. Be careful how you talk to me. Watch yourself. And this guy's about to have power. Not only that, he called the NAACP and the American Civil Liberties Union un-American. No surprise there. And he joked around. He said he thought the Ku Klux Klan was okay until he found out that they smoked pot. Now, yes, this may have been just a joke. However, this is how these guys think. This is sort of normal to them. This KKK, this supremacy, it's a joke to them. It's just normal. It's whatever. They don't think anything of it. And I'm saying this to you because it's very important. And it's very important because you have to remember, Donald Trump is incompetent. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's already obvious. He's struggling to fill positions. He's struggling with his transition team. These are the people who are going to be running the country. Guys like Mike Pence. Guys like Jeff Sessions. Guys like Michael Flynn. Whoever he appoints for Treasury Secretary, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State. They're going to be running the country. They're going to be doing mostly everything. Donald Trump is in it for himself. He's in it for the power. He'll probably profit greatly off of this through donations and other things. So I'm warning people that these are the people that are going to be running the country. So pay attention to Trump's cabinet. That's very, very important. It's very important in any presidency, but specifically this one, because our president has no freaking clue what he's doing. None at all. So I hope people hear my message and do pay attention. And I think before long you're going to start to want to pay attention just because of what's going on. So we will see about that and keep it real, on the real.
Gotta keep them separated.
Hey, the man you disrespecting me, take him out.
Gotta keep them separated.